Exclusive interview with renowned filmmaker John Pilger and his Dartmouth Films company. WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange has responded to claims that Russia is behind the recent WikiLeaks revelations about Hillary Clinton, adding that he feels sorry for the US presidential candidate. Take this report by RT's Polly Boyko.
He's done this interview with John Pilger for his production company Dartmouth Films, and he was talking from inside the Ecuadorian embassy, where many viewers will remember that Julian Assange has been stuck now for over 4 years, and he's finally addressed the issue of his sources for all the leaks that he's been coming out with over the past 6 months. Now, if you've heard the suggestions made by the Clinton camp, or indeed by Hillary Clinton herself, you'd be forgiven for assuming that WikiLeaks had been working hand in glove with the Kremlin in order to undermine the US elections, despite there being no evidence to prove this. But it's a seed that's been planted by the US politicians, and one that the mainstream media has been all too happy to allow to flourish.
We now have 17 intelligence agencies in the United States that have confirmed that these hacks have taken place by Russians.
The intelligence community says that Russia's behind this in some form. But
cybersecurity experts are blaming the hack attack on the intelligence agencies of Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Well, finally, Julian Assange has addressed these allegations about his supposed ties to Russian hackers and so-called Kremlin operations.
Hillary Clinton stated multiple times, falsely, that 17 US intelligence agencies had assessed that Russia was the source of our publications. Okay. That's false.
So that link, according to Julian Assange, is purely fictional, and he's eager to dispel this notion that WikiLeaks is simply an instrument of the Russian government to wreak havoc in US politics. In fact, this channel, RT, was implicated in being in on the whole thing when the journalists working here trawled through the leaks on WikiLeaks' own websites and tweeted the juiciest ones before WikiLeaks' own social media team did the same thing. And all this, according to Julian Assange, is simply part of the wider anti-Russian hysteria that's being whipped up by the Clinton campaign.
The Clinton camp has been able to project a kind of neo-McCarthyist hysteria that Russia is responsible for everything.
In fact, this suggestion that RT was somehow working with WikiLeaks pushed RT's editor-in-chief to look into suing the Clinton camp. She had a legal team look into it. As for Julian Assange, well, he's the man wanted in the US for all the damaging material he's put out over the years, but he says that he feels sorry for Hillary Clinton.
I actually feel quite sorry for Hillary Clinton as a person, because I see someone who is eaten alive by their ambitions, tormented, literally to the point where they become sick. You know, they faint as a result of going on with their ambitions.
And you can watch John Pilger's full interview with Julian Assange on RT on Saturday.
We discussed the WikiLeaks co-founder's latest remarks with a number of commentators to get their reactions.
There's no evidence that WikiLeaks needed or did use Russia in any way to release that information. With regard to the emails associated with the Clinton campaign, again, the accusation is made, but the evidence has not been produced. Julian Assange says that he didn't get his information from Russia. I think we have to treat his claim with a fair degree of recognition.
Julian Assange, with just 5 days to go before voters go to the polls in the US presidential elections, has taken a scalpel to the attempt by the Clinton campaign to drag Russia into this election. So what we are seeing is the mendacity of the Clinton campaign, and it has been mendacious in their attempt to drag Russia into the internal affairs of the United States. Very reckless and dangerous also, because if Hillary Clinton is the next president of the United States, her foreign policy priority, which overrides every other priority, is how she's going to reset relations with Russia.
Well, the full version of Julian Assange's exclusive interview will be aired on RT this Saturday. Check this out.